What is up, Ramsey Orchestra? What is up, Ramsey Orchestra? It's another Friday, another live video. This week we were learning about repairing instruments, and mostly your assignment this week was focused on a commonly missed repair that can cause a lot of annoying problems. It can cause a buzzing sound or like a really annoying high-pitched noise because the wood, whenever it vibrates, will knock against each other from an open seam. Okay, so it can appear anywhere right here where the back of the instrument meets the rim of the instrument. So I hope you found that video to be interesting and something you didn't know. This is something you can watch out for on your instrument. Today is the last day that you can vote for your end of the year awards. So be sure you get on the Google survey and vote if you haven't already. A majority of the program has put their votes in, so it's getting down to the wire. It's getting pretty close. And I will have those awards ordered today, and they'll be here next week. 8th grade, I'm gonna work out a way for you to get your awards if and when you guys clean out your lockers. That's still to be determined, and it brings you lots of laughs. So once the administration and I come up with a game plan, we will let you all know. 6th and 7th grade, if anything happens that I'm not able to get you your awards before the year is over, I'll have them for you in the fall, or we'll work out some sort of delivery service for us to be able to get your awards to you. So don't forget, the awards we have left for the year that we still have to announce are May Student of the Month, Outstanding 6th, 7th, and 8th Grader, Unsung Hero, Best Attitude, Most Improved Musician. I think that's it. One thing that we do need to mention is today is a very special person's birthday. It is our very own Hayden! Hayden, I hope you have the most majestic day. Today is going to be a short video just like last week, just because I think I'm not a person that is trained to be able to repair an instrument, so we are going to simply go over some things that can be commonly missed as a repair that needs to be fixed and how those can be fixed. And so let's get started. So the one thing that we'll talk about first is a little bit about the open seam. The one thing that Linda did not mention in the video is how to be able to find an open seam if you are not sure if you have one. It's easier to find it when doing it this way. It's easier to find it on a cello or a bass than it is on a violin or a viola. The bigger the instrument, the easier it is to find it. Is you can turn your instrument around on the back side. You can simply knock around the edges. It sounds the same all the way across, which is good. That means that it's consistent. If I would have noticed like a weird sound of like something knocking against each other whenever I would have hit it, or it would have sounded really thin, that means that it would have had an open seam. So you can knock, and you should hear the wood hit against each other. That'll tell you if you have an open seam or not. Then if you go to play your instrument and it makes this just really annoying rattling sound or a buzzing sound, that could also mean that you have an open seam. So I went into detail on how an open seam is fixed. I thought it was really cool. I didn't know it was that extensive work, that it took that much extensive work to be able to put an open seam back together like that, but I thought that was really cool. Next, we talked about how to tune with our pegs, but not how to repair strings. So I'm not gonna fully take my string off, but what I will show you is a close up of what it looks like on the inside of the peg box to be able to put the string where it needs to go into the peg. So if you look inside of the peg box, where the peg comes through, there's a hole on that peg. That's where the string goes through. Once you put the string through, you turn the peg up toward the scroll. While you do that, you want to take your thumb and push the string against the side of the peg box while you turn it, because you don't want the strings to crisscross against each other. Then as you're tightening it, the string has like a little ball that sits inside of the tailpiece and connects to the fine tuners. So you pull the string from the peg, it pulls here, and that's how the string's able to vibrate. And then obviously the bridge sets the strings up, so that way the strings can vibrate off the fingerboard, and you have room to put your fingers down so that way the strings can still vibrate. Another rattling sound that you can find in your instrument can be caused by your fine tuners. If your fine tuners are screwed all the way out, remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So if they screw all the way out to the left and they're really close to coming out, the vibration of the string can cause the screw to vibrate. But if you screw it all the way to the right, if you look underneath the tailpiece, there's a part that can hit your instrument underneath. So that could also be a vibration. So you might want to unscrew lefty-loosey, the fine tuner, and then tighten it from the pegs. That way you can have room to turn your fine tuner. Next, the chin rest. These little holes right here, you can very simply use an oversized paper clip and turn these, and it'll tighten it and loosen it. And all you have to do, it's this little piece. It's the piece right there between my fingers. You simply take the toothpick into the hole and you just turn it, or to the right to tighten it, or to the left to loosen it. So if your chin rest ever falls off, that's usually what I use is an oversized paper clip, because it's the easiest and usually the strongest thing you can use really quickly. Another one is resetting the bridge. Or if your bridge falls off, all you have to do is turn your pegs down, then place the bridge up underneath the strings. Then tighten the pegs one string at a time. You may have to use your thumbs to adjust the bridge back and forth. You want the bridge to sit in between the F-holes. Tighten each peg one at a time, and then start tuning your strings. And don't be afraid, as long as you have a thumb on each side to guide the bridge, it won't pop off. Now inside of your instrument, you have what is called a sound post. Now if your sound post falls out, that can happen by a string breaking, or if you drop your instrument, or your bridge pops off, you'll have to take that to a music store to get that fixed. It requires two tools to be able to set it up, one piece to hold it with and one piece to adjust it with, because you have to be able to put those tools inside of the F-holes. It's pretty tricky to reset a sound post. It takes a lot of training and a lot of practice. Well everybody, next Friday is our last video, and it's also the video that I'm going to be announcing the winners of our end of the year awards. So be sure to check in, make sure you check over your assignments, and it's getting down to the wire, so be sure you're checking in with your classes, getting your work done, staying on top of everything, and we finish this year strong. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all next week.